Do you ever feel like motherhood is a scam? Like it's an MLM?
Oh! Every time you say it, it just gets me.
Yeah, it's good. Hi, I'm Phoebe.
Hi, I'm Jacque.
And welcome to Do You Ever Feel Like?
Where we ask the questions that everyone's thinking and no one's answering.
Third time is in fact the charm. And
or fourth.
And this is third.
Oh, great. Okay, third.
And it will work, goddammit.
Do you hear us? It will work.
As the power went out in my house this morning, and I was walking over here, I was remembering Channy Nichols. Nichols. I need to stick that in my head better. And she said, like, it's still retrograde, watch your shit. And I have just been like, la, 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 marching my way along. And I think this is why I kind of refuse to give up.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, we hit a pebble.
Of course.
I march on.
We march on. This morning I woke up. I got a terrible night's sleep last night. I haven't been sleeping.
Oh, me too. There were sirens going off crazy last night.
Yeah. I don't think I'm going to sleep until this thing is over.
No.
I just am like, I'm not going to sleep.
Yeah.
And I was...
Think of the weekend after your wedding. How...
Bliss.
Yeah.
Blissful.
Like 1 week after your wedding.
It'll be great.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because I'm a codependent freak and can't do anything alone. So I made Jack get up with me to go to my vaccination. My booster appointment.
Yeah.
He did not have an appointment at 7 a.m.
No, I don't think that's being a codependent freak. I really don't. I went to my booster appointment alone, and I did not want to be the brave girly I was.
That's
and
sweet.
When the pharmacist was like, because I fucking hate needles. They really stress me out.
Yeah.
I don't like looking at them. And when I was like sitting there like, be cool, like I was not being cool. But I was just doing the things that I needed to do to be cool. The pharmacist was like, are you okay? And I was like, literally, your job is to not be rude to me, okay? So can you just say that in a nicer way, please? Because no, I'm not, all right? No, I'm not. And if you ask me that question, the tears will come from my eyes.
And then you'll really know the answer.
Yeah, and you don't want to, no one here is prepared to deal with this, okay? Not even me.
And I wake up, I had a 7 a.m. booster appointment.
You're not right. You're not 7 a.m.
Because I feel like I had to time it well with everything else I've got going on. I was like, this is when I got to get it in. I'm going to be hugging all kinds of people that are going to be traveling. Like, I just want to have it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but why didn't you do... Not 7 a.m.?
Because whatever. I'm not going down there. Point is, this poor man, I get him out of bed to come with me to not even my original plan, because this makes me a real freak, was that I was going to get up at 6 a.m. because I always get up at 6 a.m. and I was going to walk 30 minutes to this place and then walk back to get my steps in. But I sleep terribly last night. I know. I sleep terribly.
Gotta get my steps in.
And then I wake up while I'm going to my 7 a.m. appointment. And then I'm like, Jack, you said you would come with me. Because I did the thing that I'm not allowed to do, which was I asked him. This man is the most patient with me. I swear. I asked him after 8 o'clock when he's falling asleep last night, if he would do something with me in the morning.
I know.
And I know. We're not allowed to do that.
I know.
So I make him get out of bed at 6:45. I'm late for this thing and come with me and sit out in the car while I get this appointment.
See, we both need to shut the fuck up. Me
I
and
know.
you need to shut up.
No more complaining about Jack and Simon.
No, only
No more.
complaining about Jack and Simon. Only.
Anyways, what was my point? My point was, wait, you were talking about getting up early. I had a point.
You were just talking about being codependent.
No, but you had said something about getting up early, I think.
Yeah, I said we are made of different material.
Yes, we are.
We are different, you and I. This is okay. This directly relates. This like issue in my life directly relates to my question today, because I think often about I can't take my children to school.
Mm-hmm.
I simply can't.
Mm-hmm.
I simply can't.
Yeah.
Because I don't get up until 8 o'clock at least.
I know.
And that is like, that's like peeling back a fingernail for me. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
If I could sleep all day, I would.
I know.
I would.
I know. So
I'd sleep my life away.
My brain is all over the place, so I'm literally not remembering if you've asked the question, right?
Because we've been recording for 45 minutes. We have only 6 minutes of footage because this is the third time we're doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Is that why?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Do you ever feel like motherhood is a scam? I stand by my words. I stand by my initial question. Do you ever feel like motherhood is a scam? That's a scam. That we're all being bamboozled.
Bamboozled.
It's actually it's an MLM. It's an MLM.
Oh shit.
And the patriarchy is the benefactor. It's an MLM. And we're all walking around convincing each other that it's fun and fine. And if you buy in at this level, you too can achieve the gold status. Motherhood is an MLM. And I'm pulling back the curtain today.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
That is an art piece in itself. That concept.
The Avon of our life, of our society. Mm-hmm.
Holy shit!
So there we go. Maybe that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I do think motherhood is a scam, and I do think motherhood is a scam, but I think motherhood is a scam, and I think that we know it is and like get a lot of benefits in doing it anyways. You know what I mean? Like this idea of like, oh, what you can have it all thing. You don't have to get up at 6 a.m. to take your kids, or you don't have to do this, or you don't have to sacrifice, or you don't have to whatever. That's not true. You are going to have some sacrifice.
No, it's not true.
It's straight up not true. You are going to have some sacrifice. But I think there's like this narrative that you do something, you do any choice, anything, any project, any life choice, any whatever, and you always feel good about it. But I actually think that mothers and parents on a daily, hourly, minute, second basis, like, are like, why the hell did I do this? Are like literally like struggling. And of course. And are like doing it anyways. You know what I mean? Like,
I think like the thing in this conversation, it's like, there's so many other pieces. And the thing that I find very frustrating about it, and I've been like running around town like a little freak, asking all of my people who have had children to talk about this thing. And maybe because they're a couple steps removed from, you know, like I talk to like my cousins and like their kids are in university now.
Oh, okay.
And they're like, you figure it out. And I don't like that. And I
Me
don't
neither.
appreciate that answer. And I don't care if it's true because yes, we're all kind of figuring it out, but
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking figure out my well-being all over again.
Yes. And
All
yeah,
over again.
there's a lot of like nonchalant language that's used around children and the decision to have a child.
And I don't appreciate that from the receiving end, like as a child of a person. Like, I think that's foul. I think that's, and no judgment to these particular people, but I don't think that's not the fair answer that I'm looking for in this search of like, how do I do this thing that honors me too, and that doesn't take from me, and that like, you know, like I was saying, I fucking love my life. I love my life. Wow, that I can hear my echo on your headphones.
I am never waking Phoebe up again at 6 a.m. We are never asking Phoebe to get up early again, everyone. This is not a good plan.
I usually haven't had a coffee even yet, and I've had a full coffee. I've woken up. I've had a coffee. Like, you asked for this. You asked for this, and so I shall be here.
I'm in the ninth circle of hell now.
I love my life, and I love that if I my life is so dramatic. I got to wake up and be here.
Yeah.
And that is the drama I can handle. That's the drama I can handle. I can't handle. Don't fucking walk into my life with sticky hands. Oh, I can't handle sticky hands. I don't want that. Don't come into my room. Don't shout at me. Don't shout at me. Don't. And like, have you heard of gentle parenting?
Okay.
Have you heard
Don't
of this?
even get me started. I have so many thoughts on this subject as a nanny and taking care of babies my whole life. My whole life, literally.
Like, how do you regulate your nervous system when someone's yelling at you and you don't deserve it?
I know. Have you heard any of Dr. Becky?
No.
Ooh,
no.
Highly recommend. Dr. Becky has a podcast called Good People, Good Things, Good Kids, Good Raising Good People, Good something.
Maybe that sounds familiar.
Good Inside with Dr. Becky. And Dr. Becky was just on Glennon Doyle's podcast. 2 excellent episodes. One about parenting yourself, one about raising untamed kids. Very good. Anyways, I don't think you do. I don't think you regulate yourself. I don't think you can when someone's screaming at you. I don't think you like.
I mean, I see it. I see people post videos online of like, and obviously, you know, it's a video and they're like obvious about that, but it's like, I can't do what? And we all deserve that. We all deserve that. Like, as children, you deserve that patience. And that's why I think I get so infuriated by the answer of like, you figure it out. I'm like, well, I don't want someone like DIYing my life for me. Like, I didn't ask to be pulled into this situation. Can you please have some sort of semblance of figuring it out before you like add another person to this, like a whole human being?
That is what I'm saying. Like, okay, so what you're experiencing right now, I went through maybe 6 months ago when I read Motherhood.
Well, this is the thing. I am reading Motherhood right now.
Yeah.
And it's the only piece of literature that I have found that properly addresses the level of hurricane I feel like I'm in right now.
Yeah.
Because like I know I want to have children one day.
Yeah.
I know that. I know I want to have an impact on a human being's life.
Yeah.
That feels, you know, on my deathbed, that would be a regret of mine. I know that. I've made that like, I don't know, pinpoint kind of, I don't know if I want to call it a decision. I've noted that about myself.
Right.
I dislike the way in which that scenario is set up for me right now.
Mm.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't want to take, and like I get so, and this is part of I'm so irritated by, motherhood isn't a sacrifice kind of thing. Like there are at least, at bare minimum, a couple of weeks where I am not, like, after giving birth, you are just not available to
Yeah.
anything else. Bare minimum.
Yeah.
And can we please get real with ourselves?
Yes. The thing that I think is the most frustrating to me when women are out here asking this question, when the girlies are like, do I want this? Do I not want this? Is that there is nothing. There is literally nothing. There is nothing that anyone can say. There is no guidance. There's no, like, even Sheila Heti's book is just like, like questions that have no answers. Like, and I'm like,
that are answered by a coin.
Exactly. And I'm literally like, I can't get down with that. It feels nonchalant to me, or it feels like, yes, this idea of like this huge ass thing that you are doing with your life that is going to take up so much of your life. And based on all this field research that I've been doing to get a real answer about this, like that Sheila Heti did to get a real answer about this, I think people don't know if they want to have kids, and they do it anyways.
I know. I hate that. I think don't. Like, if it's not a resounding, and I think this is just part of the way I live my life.
Right.
I only do things that are a resounding full body yes. Only, exclusively. Even the things that, like, even filing my taxes, I do, and like, I take to my accountant, who's by one of my favorite coffee shops, and so when I gotta go there, I'm like, a little treat for me.
A treat.
The things that are unfun, I make fun for myself because I'm a baby. And no, I'm not a baby. I just like, that's how I want to live, and I don't care.
Yeah.
And why are we doing things that you're like, maybe with you also. Maybe sure I'll do it with you.
Ooh. Also, I think something else that I realized in making this choice for myself is I think it's imperative that Jacqueline wants a child that Jacqueline wants. Not Jacqueline wants a child if she has a certain amount of money. Not Jacqueline wants a child if she has a partner. Not Jacqueline
all
wants
that shit falls away. You don't know. You don't know.
No idea.
You have no idea.
I think that there are quite a few folks out there that make the decision to have a child under certain circumstances. And I think that is the equivalent of not really wanting a kid. You know what I mean? Like, and people don't want to admit that. Like saying I'll have a child if I have a partner, if I have money, if I have blah, 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 is not really wanting a child. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I want to like asterisk this conversation of like, this is like an extremely personal,
of course,
question.
Yeah.
And I can't possibly speak to anybody else's experience because I'm out here looking for the way I want to march forward.
Right.
And
I mean, that's lovely.
I'm so fucking impressed. And like, round of applause for anybody doing it like outside of any kind of binary. Like, holy shit. Holy shit.
Absolutely.
Every time I meet like a single parent by choice person, I'm like,
angels sent from above, honestly. Like, quite literally. Here's the thing. A lot of what I'm saying, or what we might be saying, might sound patronizing or condescending or judgmental. And like, I'm fine with saying it's judgmental. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm in my own search. This is all
Yeah.
for my own field research of my own
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
But I also see what I see.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that I think people are
Well, and also
victims of stuff.
had yes, and have had experience. Like, this is the thing, when I was saying this to you yesterday, you know, my circumstances in life I have a lot of people in my life
Mm.
who are parents, I don't think by choice.
Yeah.
And quite frankly shouldn't be parents, and because of circumstances. And that because of those people in my life, and I have a lot of love and huge respect for, like
Yeah.
huge respect for,
Mm-hmm.
has, I think, informed this real questioning
Mm-hmm.
for me of like, do I want that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I want that very specifically? And because I look at the world, I see the world, and I go, this feels really unfair.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people talk about it in small ways. Like, we'll talk
Yeah.
about it in small ways, in like, you know, in, you know, what are the words I want right now? We'll talk about it in small ways of like pro-life, pro-choice, you
Yeah.
know, and we'll talk about like marginalized, well, but like, it's one piece of
I
that
hear
puzzle.
you. Yeah.
It is actually it's a huge conversation. Is it a huge conversation?
No.
Actually, is it
No.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
yeah, we'll talk about it in these small ways, because that's
Uh-huh.
one piece of it. That's
Little
like
fleck. Yeah.
of the whole experience that
Mm-hmm.
a journey
Yeah.
that one could ever go on.
Yeah.
I love that line. Oh, fuck, I should have had Motherhood in front of me. But surprise, this is a surprise episode for us. But there's this line in it where she says like, oh, wait, I don't think this is Motherhood, actually. I think this might be another Sheila Heti book, where she's talking about there's like this other universe. There's this other, I think it's in her latest one, Pure Color. Is that what it's called? But she's talking about this like other world, or it's from like centuries, like from now, and they have discovered ways, like they don't need to have children any longer, because of the love that they feel for life. And they'll look back to us and think how sad it is that we have to reproduce another person to love something so fully.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, that's the
Yep.
that's the thing here. It's like, what are we doing? And I don't know, it's like, maybe, you know, what every parent loves to listen to is like two childless women talking about.
Oh yeah,
but
exactly,
I don't think it's a parenting thing. I think it's like do I want to like enter this game? And if I enter the ring, like, I don't know.
Here's
what
the thing.
state do I want to be in?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Yes, it's obnoxious for two childless people to sit here and think we have any idea of what it actually is, right? Just
no,
like
and I don't know what it is. And I don't know what it is.
Just like it's obnoxious for anybody to say anything about any circumstance or any event or anything and act like we know what it is. We don't. However, we are two people who are trying to not just casually have a child. You know what I mean? And like,
yeah, and like perpetuate the shit that has been like I have a I don't know, maybe I don't know. Room. Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever I don't know. I say this often to my parents, and maybe it's a very bratty thing to say, but I don't give a shit. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for this life, these circumstances. You brought me into this world. I am your responsibility forever. And by responsibility, I mean like, you don't get to have like opinions on my life. Like you just have to go, okay. Like, that is what I mean by responsibility. Like, I did
not make this choice for myself. I remember in high school, I was screaming at my mom
Yes.
And I was like, I mean, because when was I not screaming at my mom in high
Yes.
school? And I was like, I did not choose to be born. You
Yeah.
chose to have me, and you are not
Mhm.
taking responsibility for that choice. I
Oh,
like
wow.
went
Wow.
off on her.
Wow.
And I was like, I did not choose to be here. And like,
Mhm.
my poor mom, she was going through so much shit. And then her
I
child was just
know.
like
I
having an
know.
existential
I
crisis.
know.
It's like terrible. But I like, yes, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
exactly. And the thing
Mhm.
is like, here's the thing. I have co-parented a lot of kids now for the
Mhm.
last like quite a while of my life. And I think that having a kid, and I said this to somebody recently who has gone all over the world, who has worked in like war-torn parts of the
Mhm.
world, who has seen so much tragedy and so
Mhm.
much horrible, like, you know what I mean? Like shit. Like,
Mhm.
and I said, you know, having a kid is one of the hardest things you can do with your life. You know,
Mhm.
like, and
Mhm.
I don't know if that's probably a very Western thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
To think,
Yes.
you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Like that having a child is a struggle of life. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Like, but like, but
Well, wouldn't you want, cuz
it's
like
really
here's,
fucking hard.
yes, it's really fucking hard, and I had said, my mom had said something to me so long ago. Okay, my mom is a poet, and I think she's been listening. So, mom, you're a poet. She had said to me years ago on my birthday, I was like, "Mom, like she had said like, "Oh, happy birthday, baby." And I was like, "Happy birthday to you, mom. Like you made me.
Mm-hmm.
Like isn't that so cool?" And she's like, "I didn't make you. I like took all of my vegetables. I took all of the things I've
Mm-hmm.
learned. I like put you in the people with the room. Like I didn't make you. Like the world made you with me." Kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing. Ugh,
Oh,
love her. I know, she's the cutest.
I love your mom.
And she said, "And I never had a kid. I was raising human beings. I was raising people into the world."
Yes.
And that is the thing that I think is so missing in this conversation of like, do I want to have a baby around is like
Mm-hmm.
one piece of it. Again, like
Yes.
these small flecks of the thing, like we're never actually
Yes.
talking about thing. Am I prepared to bring a human being that
Is a full
a
fucking
full
human.
other
Yes.
person
Yeah.
that maybe like that's what I think, like that maybe there's something within me that I won't agree with. And whether
Oh.
that's like gender, sexuality,
Mm-hmm.
like politics, like
Oh
life
yeah.
choices,
Oh
path,
yeah.
like maybe they want to be a carpenter and all you ever dreamed of for them is to be an accountant. Like it's so
Yeah.
none of your business who this person is
Mm-hmm.
aside from the fact that you are responsible for this thing that's kind of none of your business. It's like it's all
It's
of
kind of
these.
none of your business. I fucking love that.
It is. It's just none of
Yeah.
your business. And it's a treat. And it's you're so blessed if they ever want to talk to you ever again.
Oh, of
And
course.
you are so lucky if they call you on on Christmas Day. Like
Mm-hmm.
I just
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah. I love that way of thinking about it. I think Sheila Heti talks about it in her book, and that's in a similar way.
mhm.
I also had a friend when I read this book and was asking everyone on the planet, how did you decide to be a parent? You know, like
I
whatever.
think that's the question. I've been trying to figure out what the question I am asking is, but it's like, is it how did you decide?
Mm,
What in you allowed you
yeah.
to decide? Like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Um, I think that one of my, some, someone had said to me, somebody who I went to college with, who has two beautiful little babies, said, I don't see myself as like, I don't control my child. Like I am a chapter in my child's life. Like I
Yes.
am not my child. My child is not me. I
No.
brought this person into the world, and I am just a
Mhm.
chapter in their life that I have no control over and
Yeah.
no like whatever. And I think
Yeah.
that's really lovely. And I think that
Yeah.
is I can get down with that. That I
Yeah.
can get down with that. That's a comforting sense of responsibility. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I also think there's a part in Sheila Heti's book that gets a little spiritual in that way as well, and says like, I like to believe that if I didn't have my child, that my child would be had by someone else. Right?
Yes.
Like the idea that my child is going to exist, whether they come, or a child is going to exist. Excuse me, a child will exist, whether they come through me or not. And that's a destiny that has nothing to do with me and my choice, you know, like, because everyone, you know, this idea of like, well, this binary, again, idea of like, you have a child and what if they cure cancer? And if you don't have a child, then we never have a cure for cancer. You know what I mean? Like this whole thing that can like paralyze people in these choices.
Yeah.
It's kind of comforting. You know what I mean? That like, we're just a passage for this, or like that child's life might exist outside of our, or like what, like these things they were very comforting to me when I was and am still trying to figure this out.
Well, and this is kind of why I think motherhood is a bit of a scam this way. It's because we're all walking around, and I think woman to woman is the worst perpetrator of this stuff. Like that's why it feels like an MLM. It feels like an MLM
well,
where it's like,
I'm saying. Yeah.
Where we're convincing each other of this thing. Oh, do it. It's the best thing you'll ever do with your life. Oh, you know what's the best thing I've ever done with my life? Sat in a park and drank a bottle of wine.
Exactly.
That's one of the best things I've ever done with my life. And I plan on doing it again. And that's like top tier, really delicious. Now, I'm not comparing my love for the world with a child. However, I just think that the argument is flimsy. Like that's it's really flimsy. And it's like, it's the, like, it really does feel like an MLM. It really feels like an MLM. And the top, like the big boss is patriarchy himself.
Yeah.
And the system that, I mean, like, this is why we don't want abortions to be a thing, because we want women to be workers. And we want we want more poor workers.
Poor. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're all walking around convincing each other that we can do this thing, that it's, oh, I did it. You can do it.
Exactly.
It's fine.
There's
it only destroyed every part of me, my relationships, and then took my pelvic floor with it.
Exactly.
Like I just...
Yeah, it's like these it feels very nonchalant to me. And like, it feels like saying like, you know how when I use that expression of, best thing I ever did, it's like being compared to buying some cheese.
That's what I mean. The best thing I've ever done is drank a bottle of wine at a park.
That's what I mean. Like, it's so nonchalant. And that's when I say like, let us recognize that there might not be that much autonomy or that much, oh my God, my words, autonomy or, consent or around these things, right?
Yeah.
And like, let's recognize that when you wake up with your 3-year-old, like, and they're screaming at you to get out of the bed on Sunday morning, like, that like, whether or not you did this consciously, you know what I'm saying? Like, and not because you're an empty soul walking around and your life is not happening to you, but because we live within systems that are reinforcing really problematic shit. That's what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
No, totally. And I think when on this hunt I've been on, like, I feel a bit like a manic person. Like I've been sitting in the park and I'm like, I'll just go talk to this woman about, like,
I know.
Excuse me, ma'am. Like,
excuse me. How much consent do you feel you had when making this choice to be a parent?
You're joking. I'm like, this is I'm gonna hit the streets after this.
I need to, like, honestly,
we're recording this as like because it needed to happen thing. But my original plan for this episode was for people to leave voicemails. So I'd love to know, like, please do call in answering this question if you are a parent. And then also if you're not a parent, like, and also I do want to hear this decision making. If you like, what made you decide to become a parent and what made you decide to not? Like,
that's good.
I'm
to not.
so
Yes, send a voice note to the DMs, to the IG. Let us know.
In the, what do you call it? In the description, you can leave us a voicemail.
Oh, yes, you can.
Or you could send a voice note to doyoueverfeelpod@gmail.com. But I am so curious as to what, because I'd love to know if you don't know. Like, I really would love to know if you don't have an answer as well, because this is just the thing. I'm out here hunting for truth. I don't care if it sounds good.
Exactly.
And I don't care if I learned this about Sagittarius from Channy. I'm a Sagittarius sun moon. We're truth hunters. We're only like, our forward mission in life is truth.
Excavate.
Yes. And I don't want to hear another fucking you'll figure it out. Because I agree that maybe, yes, there is some level of figuring it out. Sure. But I want to know okay, how do I figure it out? How do I figure it out? Like, what is the construction that is at play here? I gotta know.
I know.
Man.
And like, again, exactly.
So
like,
I don't
let's
get
be
bamboozled.
Honest.
Don't want to get bamboozled.
Exactly. Let's be honest. Like, let's say I don't fucking know why I chose to have children. And I ask myself that question every day. Like, what is so threatening about that? Again, the fucking patriarchy.
Yeah, because it's all you've ever been told. Yeah.
Because you're a bad woman if you regret your children. Because you're a bad woman if you have a negative thought about being a mother or about your children. Sorry. I'm on
I know. And I was listening to You Are Good the other day, and they had a guest on. It was the Harriet the Spy episode. They had a guest on, and they were talking about, which is like actually a great movie about parenthood in a funny way. Great story about parenthood. But the guest was saying, I can't remember their name, but like their mom had like 6, 7, 8 children, and was like, if I could do it again, I wouldn't. And like, I want to talk to that woman so bad. I want to know.
Me too.
And as like a woman in the world who, like, it's all you're ever told to do. Like, your whole life, you're given baby dolls
and houses, play houses and play kitchens
it's, not that it isn't a beautiful thing to do with your life, but it's not the only beautiful thing to do with your life. And it's not the only option. I think that's part of why I'm frustrated right now. Cause I really love my life. I love my career. I love to work. That was our alternative episode today, that I can never stop working, and I don't mind because I love to work all day. And I don't.
Well, if you're a mom, if you're a parent, that shit is work.
I don't mean labor. I mean, like, make fucking shit. Talk to you. Like,
I know what you mean.
No, I can't cook.
Here's the thing. Yeah. I've had,
make lunch.
Yeah. I feel like I've gotten like the sweetest part of being around children as a nanny. Sometimes it's a horror show, and I want to I want to leave a child screaming in the street, but I also think a lot of parents want that. And I also think I'm very much, when I'm nannying, like co-parenting, which I think is a whole other episode about how we fucking treat help in the home.
I think so. I mean, like, I've told you this before. I remember my nannies as a kid and my babysitters and stuff. Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten such a sweet little taste, because I get these beautiful little babies and these fun kids for a little while, and then I can go home and sleep for 12 hours or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And there's one side of it that's that way. And then there's the other side of it that's like, No. Like I go home and I think about them and I worry about
Yeah.
them and I
Yeah.
can't sleep just like a parent couldn't sleep. You know what I'm saying? And I have
Mhm.
my own shit. My dog keeps me up and blah,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah. That whole thing.
Yeah.
But I feel so, I am saying all this shit with a very, very clear idea. Again, I don't know what it would be like personally for Jacqueline, but a very, very clear idea of what it takes because I've been helping raise children for 15 years.
Yeah.
And there are these moments where I'm like, this is what it is. This
Mhm.
is why people do this. When I'm in the everyday with these kiddos, you know, there's these special moments that happen.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, oh, this is why people don't do this, like all at once. And you know that
Mhm.
saying that everybody says of like, it's different when it's your child. Like you're going to
Mhm.
love your child. It's different when it's your child. And I don't know because I love these babies. I love them.
I don't know because what the fuck? Like
And
literally,
what does
what
that mean?
difference? What
Yes.
difference? Like I don't. Many people have been raised by not their genetic like ties, and
Absolutely.
like I think that's like such fucking bullshit. I think
It
that's
is.
bullshit.
I think it's bullshit. Not,
I think that's bullshit to sell you on this fucking insane
yeah.
idea.
I think I agree with you about that, about like, there's all different ways to make a family. Absolutely. But I
Mm-hmm.
also think it's bullshit to say like, well, you love them so much. So when they're setting your hair on fire with a lighter they found, all will be fine. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
this is what I
it's
mean.
like,
It's like,
what?
why is
No.
love? Why is love? When did love become this like? I mean, you wouldn't say that about an abusive relationship, right? Like, when did love become this like? And
Yes.
it has always been this. It has, but like, why is it this like wash of good enough? Oh, it's fine.
Yes.
Everything comes out like net zero at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck? What the
And
fuck?
I went to that very extreme example because I have a friend who's a parent and that
Oh
happened too.
god.
But that's like, I've seen this wild shit with my two eyes like happen. And I'm
Yeah.
like, really? All the love in the world it makes this okay?
Mhm.
And like, let's not even get into the whole like, you exactly like, this is none of your business. You have no idea who this person will be. For such a long time, I was like, I do not want a child because what if my child grows up to blow up a building? What
Mhm.
if my child grows up to be a serial killer? Like you
Mhm.
never think your kid is going to be the serial killer, but your
Mhm.
kid might be the serial killer.
Or just the heartbreak of like I was thinking what Anand Saeed, is that his
Mm-hmm.
name? Who like the do you see that news? I think he was released at the
Yeah.
beginning of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Um he like I've been thinking, I was like, how's his mother doing? Like I've been like, how's his mother doing? And this
Mm-hmm.
whole thing, I just or I think of I don't know. I think I'm always thinking of people's mothers. Like I think of that when I really need to extend compassion to somebody,
Oh
like on
yeah.
the street. I'm like, you were once somebody's baby, and
Yeah.
somebody held you, and really
Loved you.
loved you
Yeah.
at some point. And like when I am like at my end of the rope with humanity, like
Mm-hmm.
that's what I think of, and I think that, yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking of Anand Saeed's mother, of like, how is she doing in this swirl of, and how she been doing like the last 20 something years, and how
Yeah.
has what's this poor young woman that was murdered, how's her mother, and like all of,
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly thinking of everyone's mother.
And that's the thing is like, I get
Because yeah, they didn't
upset.
sign up for that. They didn't sign up for that. They signed up to, whatever scenario any of these women are in where they're like told to have a kid, right?
Mm-hmm.
Probably because it's the next thing to do.
And I think it's like, and like maybe they did sign up for that. Honestly, maybe they were
Yeah.
thoughtful. Maybe they like whatever. Maybe they did sign up for that. But I think it's a joke. And I also think that like that amount of responsibility and care and all of that is like, how are we supposed to handle that?
I
Like
don't
I
know.
just don't like how that amount of love. How are you
I
supposed
know.
to handle that? I get upset like when I drop a glass and break it. It
I
ruins my
know.
whole afternoon. Like,
I
and
know.
I'm a pretty resilient human being. I don't know.
Don't talk to
Have
me
you ever
about
taken
cups.
the grit test? I'm going to
Oh,
send
I'd
it to you.
fail. I have none.
I have a pretty high level of grit. And
I mean, okay, well, yeah, no, this is a different thing. I am both the softest marshmallow and have no problem throwing hands at any point.
You're both the softest marshmallow and have made us continue to try to record today for the last 2 hours because you're like, we are gonna make
we shall
work.
march for
like,
so maybe then I can be a mother.
that sounds like the perfect combo, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think we're all lying to each other with this stuff, and I just want someone to tell me it's the most insane thing. I mean, and I will also say I have a couple of friends who have very sweetly validated, like whenever my dog's like, I'm pulling my hair out because my dog's doing a thing, they're like, I think like pets are harder than babies. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Thank you for validating this
what
for
a treat.
me.
That's lovely.
I know. It's very kind. It's very generous. We'll see how it goes. But I've had like more than like 3 people say that to me. And I like, that makes me feel, because I think this is maybe also part of this decision too, is like my life is not all that simple. It could definitely be simpler. I could simplify it. But it's pretty, I've got my own little thing going on. It's small.
Yeah.
And it feels complicated enough. It feels really hard. And it feels, it's tough. Not every day is easy.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I am okay with any more strife or friction in my day, to be quite honest right now. Because, like
That's what I think about when big life things happen or when really soul-crushing days occur. I'm like, how the fuck do people do this?
Yeah.
And also go pick up their children from
make
school.
dinner. Make dinner.
What?
And then you got to go to like soccer or some shit. Yeah.
No, thank you.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm like, I want to love a kid. I want to make a cool human in the world. This is something I will regret on my deathbed.
I know. How goofy of you and I to be like, aw, but me and my little life, what do I want? I want my deathbed. I want to have everyone come love me. Ugh. Get over yourself, Phoebe. Jesus.
I mean, I've been going through a lot of grief in my life recently. In my house. And that's a huge thing I'm thinking about. Is I'm like, oh, this is why people have babies.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh, it's maybe the reason.
This is the reason people have kids.
Many people have cited it. And I think, but to get to that point requires you to just not give a flying fuck about who that human, I mean, it's like you can't care and you can only care all at once. It's like a series of contradictions and you have to love that person and like have your feelings hurt because it's not about you.
I agree. It's not about you. But also it's all about you.
Yeah, because you're like, oh.
My life. My baby.
Who's going to wipe my touche? Anyway.
So a point of this podcast is that we have no idea what the fuck we're talking about. We should not have opinions about this. And we are babies.
I mean, here's the funny thing about all of this is like, I actually don't really think I have an opinion and I'm frustrated by the world's opinion of this thing.
You're trying to like get in. Yeah.
I don't have an opinion. I know what I don't want, but I don't know what I want. And I certainly don't know I certainly know what I don't want. And and someone answer my question honestly, please.
Yeah, will someone say, oh, I had a baby so I wouldn't be alone when I die? Great. That's something that I can, like, perfect. Thank you. Instead of like, you know what I mean? Instead of this like, well, I thought about my legacy.
I know.
Your legacy? That's weird. And like, what are you talking about? Like, this is what I'm saying about honesty. Like, anyways. Ay vey.
Yes, please leave a voicemail. Help me.
Help
And
Phoebe.
I would like to play them. Yeah.
Yes.
It's really nuts. And I didn't even talk about all of the weird time pressure all of a sudden I feel.
The world is dark, 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 evil, 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 evil. And we do not like have any idea.
You got it.
The world is dark, 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 evil, 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 evil.
Ooh, that's a good t-shirt.
Merch.
Aren't we beacons of light? Well, I have nothing else to say other than I am confused. I'm once again confused. And I have no idea.
Is motherhood an MLM?
I said what I said. I said what I said.
Phoebe said what she said. Phoebe said what they said. And
I will take evidence of the contrary, but all I'm seeing is a bunch of sales pitches. You people are trying to trap me and I shan't be caught. You will not bring me down.
All I'm seeing is that $10,000 medical bill buy-in or that $10,000 baby stroller expense.
Don't even get me started. I can't believe the cost of having a child in the States. Oh my God. At least if I come here, it's mostly covered. But
don't even get me started.
Anyway, yeah, I know.
Just
a small light conversation that we covered.
That we didn't plan to cover.
Well, I have like many people have said, I have a lot of opinions. I have much to say.
So do I.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Thank you for listening to Do You Ever Feel Like?
Follow this chaos wherever you get your podcasts.
Our artwork is by Simon Peng. Do You Ever Feel Like is produced by Jacqueline Wills
and Phoebe Taylor. You can follow us on Instagram at DoYouEverPod.
You can write to us at doyoueverpod@gmail.com. Okay, bye!